Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. You might recall a few days back, we talked about some features that have appeared to have been scrapped from Modern Warfare 2. This included systems like applying more than 5 attachments to your weapon, tuning various attachments to very specific numbers, and even a whole map in Grand Prix, which we saw, marketed a bunch that is now completely non-existent on the internet on all of Call of Duty's socials. Well, it appears that one of these systems might actually not be scrapped, but for whatever reason, there's just been no major official mention of it outside of one tiny sentence in a very big blog post on the Call of Duty website. What we're talking about is the ability to fine-tune specific attachments on your weapons. Now, back a few months ago, 3-4 months ago, myself and a handful of other creators were able to get an early look at Modern Warfare 2. And in this early look, we sat in on a call with Infinity Ward. They showed us various features of the game, some campaign missions, talked about their ideas with stuff, how they wanted to create this game in general. And they ended up talking about the Gunsmith in part of this meeting. And they said, we've got this new refined Gunsmith. We want this to be something that any player can jump in and just fully understand right away. It's nice and easy and simple, not overly complex. And immediately right after they said that, they then presented the most complex idea for the Gunsmith that we've seen to date between MWII 2019, Cold War, and Vanguard. This was the ability to go into certain attachments, for instance, your barrels, and fine-tune them with different sliders and basically highlight which areas you wanted to focus on when it comes to weapon stats. Whether that was recoil control or, sprinting speed, ADS strafe speed, mobility, accuracy, whatever the case may be, you could fine tune these things with sliders, basically be shown a, sort of radar graph, if you will, that shows you, okay, yeah, you've got certain stuff going on for your recoil. Obviously, your gun is really good for control, but it's not so good for mobility. And basically, you could make your own custom weapons and in a way, almost design your own attachments for these guns. And this was very complex, like I said, and we all talked about this when we were able to, reveal that we had seen the reveal for the game and talked about this stuff and the embargo was up, and everyone seemed pretty interested in this weapon attachment tuning feature. And I mean, for good or for worse, some players said that was a little bit too complex. Other players are like, yes, this is awesome. This is going to help out a ton with, making weapons truly feel unique. But then, the full reveal for the game went by with the campaign release and everything. No mention of attachment tuning. Then, we got all these teasers for the Gunsmith, the maps, the intel drops. Nothing was said about attachment tuning. Then we got Call of Duty Next. Full-on gameplay reveals, in-depth details on multiplayer, on the customization systems, all of that. No details on attachment tuning. We quite literally heard absolutely nothing about attachment tuning from the time that we saw it at that early look at MW2 until right now at this point in time. They never officially said anything publicly about this system. And of course, if you go into the beta here and you go into your Gunsmith attachments and look through all of that, there's also no sign of attachment tuning there. Even if you max out a weapon to its fullest right now, you could max out a family tree, anything like that. It is nowhere to be seen, leaving all of us to believe that it was in fact scrapped because they haven't mentioned it. Well, shout out to Grayson over on Twitter because he ended up linking me this Call of Duty blog post going over the basic knowledge and know-how, if you will, of Call of Duty with all the in-game terms, ADS, attachments, camouflage. It's somewhat some basic stuff, some other stuff that is more of like Call of Duty lingo, if you will. And if you scroll down in this giant list of different terminology for Call of Duty, you'll notice there is a certain section that says weapon tuning. And this is quite literally the only information we have on where the attachment tuning system is. By the way, as we are going through this, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. We're on the road to 1 million subs, and literally every single day, I got you covered with the latest news, updates, leaks, loadouts, class setups, you name it, it's all right here. And if you guys enjoy this video at all, let me know by dropping a like on it. It does really help grow the channel and share the video around, push it into the algorithm, you know what I'm saying? So be sure to drop a thumbs up on it. It is seriously appreciated. But weapon tuning, this is what this little description reads. Weapon tuning, the ability to fine-tune your weapons attachments for minute but meaningful statistical changes. once you've fully leveled up a weapon, you can select tunable attachments via the Gunsmith to maximize its potential in combat. Now, here's what I think is weird. Obviously, this creates a much larger discussion with that information there, but we've heard about many different features that are going to be available in the full version of Modern Warfare 2. Not just what's available, obviously, within the beta, right? When we saw that. And this is not one of them, despite this being like a major new addition to the Gunsmith and something very, very big for how gunplay is going to work in this game. This is the only mention that we've had of this. But this does confirm a few very interesting things. It sort of explains why we don't have that in the beta build, or didn't have that in the beta build rather, because apparently this is locked behind fully maxing out a weapon. And of course, in the beta, you could hit, 19 out of 20 on an M4 or 18 out of 20 on an MP5. There might be more levels than that though come the full game. There could be 40 levels on the MP5 and 45 on the M4. We just don't know as of right now, but this is confirmed to be a max level, max weapon level, I should say, unlock, just like say all the camo challenges would. Of course, you can't get gold on a weapon until you have the max level and you have all the different camo categories fully unlocked. So this now brings in a new sort of grind to any given gun in the game. Say you like the M4 a lot, you've got that fine-tuned and you have your attachments tuned to your specific liking, but then you want to use, let's say, the Icarus, and you don't have that max level, you're not going to be able to go in and fine-tune those attachments, even if you're using the same barrel or the same magazine that you had over on the M4. So it's introducing a new way to grind that's going to give you more customization and more ability to make your gun feel like exactly what you want come the end game, if you will. So I guess it would appear that attachment tuning is not fully scrapped here in Modern Warfare 2. I still find it so weird that the literal only mention of this is hidden within this blog post. So hopefully, in the coming weeks, as we get closer to the full launch of the game, they'll put out maybe some more intel drops talking about this, or they'll put out a more, detailed blog talking about this, because I still am kind of concerned as to whether or not this is actually going to make it into the final version of the game, just because of the lack of confirmation elsewhere. I feel like this is such a huge feature and something that is going to make things very complex for the Gunsmith. It just seems odd to never mention it, right? Also, for what it's worth, there were a lot of very valid comments when I talked about this idea potentially being scrapped, about how maybe they scrapped it because it was just overkill and made for even more, details that had to be monitored in the back end for them with weapon tuning and weapon balancing. Oh, it absolutely does. Players are going to find very, very broken builds because they changed the length of their barrel by, 0.37 inches or something like that. This is going to create a whole new additional meta on top of what might be meta in the game. Like, there's going to be an insane amount of detail you can put into guns that completely change them. And you guys know when the time comes, we're going to be talking about all of this come full release, with what you need to tune your M4 barrel to, or what you need to change on your MP5, or whatever the case may be. I got you guys covered with all the details there, alongside everything else going on in COD as well. News, updates, tips. It's all right here every single day. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, as we are on the road to 1 million. And if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know by dropping a like on it. But that is going to wrap things up for today. As always, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code IMMORTAL for a discount on all Scuff, G Fuel, Gamer Advantage, and Control Freak products. And the links for all those can be found down in the description below. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.